These cards suck in most contexts, but when they're good, they're pretty disgusting. So both Drag Down Into the Grave and Exchange kind of fulfill a similar role, as they both allow both players to look at their opponent's hand and either exchange one card from each hand or apply a Dark World Dealings-esque effect. And yeah, they're both inherent neg ones as well. On the surface, they look very gimmicky, and they are, trust me, but in a world filled with hand shops, look in your opponent's hand and make him lose the only card that could actually help him win the game could actually be worth it. So for context, Drag Down Into the Grave was initially thought out by a Montreal player by the name of Ludovic Mosca back in 2018 in Gookie format. Yes, that would be him that popularized the card, because he told me how I liked the card, and I said, you know, it's pretty cool, ask my other friends how they feel about it too. I showed it to Nick Petzold. Nick liked it a lot, and he showed it to Jesse Cotton. Jesse loved it, so he pretty much incorporated into his deck and showed his deck to Gabe Vargas, which ended up winning the entire event. Coincidence? I think not. But yeah, you could see it as 3 extra copies of Called by the Grave, but at the same time, it could actually be better than Called by the Grave. It could also be worse. For example, a few of my friends actually encountered this problem where sometimes they would go for Drag Down, their opponent would have literally 0 hand shops in their hand, so they would be like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna discard like the best card that you have, and then the opponent would be drawing a card and oh, look at this! Top deck Droll Logbird on resolution, use it, and all of a sudden, Merry Christmas, you die. So it's for that reason that if I had to pick between Drag Down or Exchange, I'd probably go with Exchange because it has a bit less of the RNG bullshit shenanigans. In modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, we've actually seen Infernoble Knights side deck both Drag Down and Exchange, and in some crazy situations, main deck the cards, but I think this is delusional. But yeah, even when Called by the Grave was a 3, the really cool thing about Drag Down and Exchange is that they would actually allow you to rip cards that Called by the Grave couldn't stop. For example, Dark Ruler, Sphere Mode, Kaiju's Lava Golem, Forbidden Droplet, because of course, Called by the Grave kinda just only negates hand shops. And you could actually say the same thing with Nibiru. Called by the Grave doesn't negate Nibiru, Crossout Designator kinda does, but if you don't want to play a billion hand shops in your deck, well, Drag Down and Exchange could be correct for you. Please don't go thinking that every single combo deck in Yu-Gi-Oh can play these cards, because it is absolutely not the case. I do consider them dirty and sketchy cards because they have no guarantees, they're inherent neg ones, they can backfire on you as I have shown with Drag Down, and they can kind of be really awkward to use sometimes. Just imagine this, your hand has a 2-card combo with Exchange and 2 hand shops, so 5 cards total. Do you immediately start with Exchange? No, of course not. Your opponent can literally just take one of your combo enablers or one of the hand shops, so even if you're able to take one of his hand shops, it's not gonna do anything because you won't be able to play. So if you are playing a lot of hand shops in your deck, Exchange is already kind of whack. Drag Down, not necessarily, because you don't have to give anything to your opponent, but you could already see how both of these cards are different in a way. If you can actually set a lot of cards, for example spell cards or even shop cards that you can use right away like Shade Brigandine, it's actually pretty interesting because you can afford to get rid of the cards that are in your hand that are not really doing anything to allow you to keep extending. So when you do activate either Exchange or Drag Down, your powerful extenders are safe and you didn't really have to commit anything first. But yeah, if you're scared that your opponent might draw a hand shop off of Drag Down, play Exchange instead. And if you're scared that your opponent might steal one of your hand shops or one of your combo enablers, play Drag Down instead. Would I personally play any of these cards in a modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck? Maybe. I'm not close to the idea, but at the same time, I can't really currently think of any decks that desperately need to side these cards at the current moment, of course. Like Tri-Regate, Drytron, Virtual World, they really don't want to play these sketchy cards at all. So as long as we don't have like the next Adamantipator or the next Infernoble Knight or the next Gookie or whatever, I think we can live in a world where without the existence of these cards. But that's pretty much it for my kind of card review on Exchange and Drag Down Into the Grave. Let me know what you guys actually think of these cards in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.